DLC weapons are a nice way to keep the player base engaged with a Call of Duty game long after the release date. Now, some Call of Duty games have ended up with more DLC weapons than base weapons. I mean, looking at you, Black Ops 3. But not all DLC weapons are created equal, my friends. In fact, some DLC weapons aren't even worth your time. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Chaos here. Welcome to the COD History Series, and today we're going to be looking at 10 of the absolute worst DLC guns in Call of Duty history. Let me know which of these you thought were actually the worst. Drop a like on the video. And at number 10, the Striker 45 in Modern Warfare 2019. Modern Warfare 2019 has a lot of worst lists. They end up on a lot of the lists that we do that are deemed the worst. And I don't know if that's a good thing anyway. The UMP 45. One of the most iconic weapons in classic Call of Duty. I mean, the standout version being the one that appeared in the original Modern Warfare 2. So when IW announced they were adding a new SMG that looked and functioned a lot like it, I was excited. You were excited. We were all excited. Yeah, I know the Striker 45 isn't technically the UMP 45, but it was definitely meant to make us feel like we were using that, but none of that takes away from the fact that it wasn't good. In fact, it really sucked. The Striker 45, at least at launch, had that slow fire rate, that bouncy recoil, a 25-round magazine, and a super low base damage. It meant you could get 4 to 5 hit markers before dropping someone. I don't know about you guys, but if I'm going to use a slow bouncy SMG, I want to be getting people out of the lobby or back to the lobby in less than 5 shots. But apparently, Infinity Ward disagreed. The Striker 45 had one of the slowest TTKs in Modern Warfare, and that game had really fast average time to kill. So you were at a serious disadvantage if you were using this gun anywhere other than hardcore. At number 9 today, the RSA Interdiction in Black Ops 3. This gun requires a bit of context, so bear with me. Black Ops 3 was the first Call of Duty game to actually remove aim assist from the snipers, which was a super controversial decision. This meant you had to be a lot more precise with your shots, but in return for that lack of aim assist, Treyarch gave the sniper rifles quick fire rates in this massive default magazine. Eventually, the sniping community adapted, as they always do, and the Locust rifle became a fan favorite, but a few months into the game's life cycle, Treyarch added the RSA interdiction to supply drops. A bolt-action sniper with aim assist. Right away, the sniping community went nuts trying to pull this from supply drops because if they had already gotten good without aim assist, this gun would be insane, right? Well, wrong. Now, it did have aim assist. It also had horrendous stats basically across the board. The ADS speeds were terrible, the fire rate was low, the magazine was small, and the one-shot kill range was the smallest of all the snipers in the game, making it, yes, a hitmarker machine. All that to say, the sniping community quickly forgot about it, and they just went back to the Locust. I mean, it may have been harder to use because of the lack of aim assist, but it had better stats across the board, and it was just much better idea to get good with it, right? At number 8 today, the Type 5 in COD World War II. Now, this game had a lot of DLC weapons, and while most of them were viable, there was a few that stood out for being particularly bad. The Type 5 was a semi-automatic rifle added to the game in April of 2018 that almost everybody immediately forgot about because it was basically just a reskin of the SVT-40, but even worse, which is saying something because the COD World War II version of the SVT, it was pretty terrible. Now, the Type 5 had a 10-round mag, hit for between 49 and 50 base damage, which meant it was almost always a 2-shot kill. That's nice. But the problem was the fact that the fire rate was capped at a pathetic 250 rounds per minute, which is really, really slow. So at that point, you might as well have just used one of these semi-auto snipers because those were also a 2-shot kill to the body, but they had higher fire rate caps and could instantly kill someone with a headshot, which the Type 5 could not do for some reason. Plus, the M1 Garand, 2-shot kill to the body in this game, had a fire rate cap of 324, even the SVT-40, which many called the worst gun in the entire game. 2-shot kill to the chest, fire rate cap of 257. This rifle, it was bad. I mean, being able to 2-shot somebody in the chest was nice, but when you're firing that slowly, it's just not worth it. Just at that point, just use a sniper rifle. At number 7. The Dragoon. I don't know why I say it like that, but I like it. In Black Ops 3. So this gun was meant to be a throwback to classic Call of Duty, but that does not excuse it from criticism. It was a bolt-action sniper added to Black Ops 3 in June of 2018. Reminder, Black Ops 3 launched in October of 2015. It looked a lot like the classic M40A3 from COD 4. Handled like it as well. But it was meant to have some very, very rough traits. A 5-round mag, smallest of all the snipers in the game. A fire rate cap of 50 rounds per minute, tied for the slowest in the game. And while it was virtually always a 1-shot kill, which is nice, it also reloaded 1 bullet at a time while literally every other sniper in the game used magazines. I do understand that Treyarch wanted this gun to be a throwback, and they didn't intend on it actually being a top-tier pick for but the Black Ops 3 community quickly started calling the Dragoon the worst sniper in the game. I don't blame them. In terms of functionality, it was pretty bad. I think it deserves to be on today's list. At number 6, the Ice Pick in COD World War II. Raise your hand if you actually remember the Ice Pick. Now, when it was first introduced, it was actually kind of cool. It was one of the first DLC weapons to be added to COD World War II, and it had some pretty sweet sound effects and animations. However, the problem with it was the fact that when it was added to the game, at least, it didn't actually work properly, that is. Compared to other melee weapons in COD World War II, like the shovel or the trench knife, the Ice Pick had a much shorter melee lunge and a much longer animation, meaning you actually were at a disadvantage if you picked it over other melee weapons in the game at the time. It's also very inconsistent in terms of how close you had to be in order to melee lock on, which made it unsatisfying. I think Sledgehammer eventually patched it up and made it more in line with the other melee weapons in the game, but if you were playing the game when it was first added, you probably remember when Sledge first handed this thing to us and how confused we were because it sucked. Now let's crack into the top 5 today. The KVK-99M in Black Ops 3. Now the AN-94 was a fan favorite rifle in Black Ops 2, remains a fan favorite to this day. But when Treyarch first brought the gun back for Black Ops 3, well, the community revolted. I mean, it was nerfed. In fact, I think this may have been one of the hardest game-to-game nerfs we've ever seen in COD history. The KVK, futuristic remake of the AN, of course, had the same traits as the Black Ops 2 version, meaning the first 2 shots came out quicker than the rest, so it could benefit you to get good at burst firing because you could land those first 2 shots and you would greatly speed up your time to kill. But the Black Ops 3 version of the AN got hit with a huge damage nerf and a massive fire rate decrease, making its overall time to kill really, really slow, especially if you didn't land those first 2 quick shots. For comparison, the Black Ops 2 version of the AN-94 fired its first 2 shots at 937 rounds per minute. Then it decreased down to 625. It would hit for between 24 and 40 base damage. The BO3 version, well, fired the first 2 shots at 810 rounds per minute before decreasing to 550 for the rest, and it only hit for between 22 and 35. Believe it or not, that wasn't actually the worst AN-94 in COD history, which is kind of crazy to say. At number 4, the AN-94 in Modern Warfare 2019. If you were disappointed by the Black Ops 3 version of the AN, you're probably punching the wall at this one. This rifle was added to the game as part of the Season 5 update, and it somehow was even more nerfed from the Black Ops 3 version, and I'm confused as to why Infinity Ward felt the need to go this far. So this version of the AN-94 would fire those first 2 quick shots at an even 1,000 rounds per minute, the fastest in COD history. Okay, we're on track here. Decreased down to 570, barely faster in the Black Ops 3 version, but what killed this AN-94 was the damage. It was nerfed even further from Black Ops 3, and again, I have no idea why IW did it. Just as a reminder, the OG Black Ops 2 version hit for between 24 and 40 base damage. Black Ops 3 version, 22 to 35. Modern Warfare version, 18 to 29. That's it. Seriously, the AN-94 in this game hit for as little as 18 damage per shot. No. I mean, seriously, just no. Modern Warfare 2019 had a very quick time to kill, but the AN-94 was not part of that. At number 3 today, the HG40 in Black Ops 3. Man, I remember trying to get this gun. First added to the game, I was excited. Futuristic MP40 in a jetpack game that I actually liked. I was excited to get my hands on the gun and relive the glory days of World at War, but unfortunately, Treyarch forgot to tell us the new version of the iconic MP4 was actually not good. Up close, the HD40 needed 3 shots to kill. After 9 meters, it would drop to 4 to 5 shots to kill. Recoil, super bouncy, hard to control. Had the slowest fire rate of any SMG in Black Ops 3. You mix all that together, you've got one of the slowest TTKs in the entire game and one of the hardest guns to control, so what is the point of even trying to use it? They did patch it once or twice, but I'll still never forget the disappointment of spending time and money on supply drops to finally put this thing to use and quickly found out it was awful. I'm not forgiving you for that one, Treyarch. I will remember forever. And I remember when I actually pulled this gun. And the first map I went to was Nuketown, and I was just ready to just melt everybody. And then it didn't go that way. At number 2 today, the Blunderbuss in Advanced Warfare and COD World War II. I know it's a meme weapon. I get it. But seriously, it sucks. The Blunderbuss is a pirate shotgun. It was added to Advanced Warfare's DLC, then later brought back to COD World War II. And while there may be some disagreement over which version was better, they were both bottom tier. It had one of the longest reload animations in COD history. Could only fire once before forcing you back into that super long animation. And I admit, it was a really cool detailed animation, but the fact of the matter is, you would be seeing that animation more than you would actually be using the gun in combat. I get what the point of it was. But we are making a list of worst DLC guns in COD history, and the Blunderbuss was one of them. In fact, I think there was only one DLC gun that was actually worse. Now we arrive at number 1 today. The worst DLC gun in COD history has to belong to the M16 in Advanced Warfare. I love that this gun is actually still a meme. When it was first added to AEW, the entire COD community was roasting it online for being completely useless. Even after Sledgehammer buffed it, it remained a meme. The original version of the Advanced Warfare M16 was pitifully weak, and that's being nice. Would often give you 3 hit markers instead of a 1-burst kill like the M16 is supposed to do. On top of that, had some of the most hilariously obstructive iron sights in COD history. I don't know how Sledgehammer play tested the M16 with those iron sights and didn't fix them, because they were obviously not supposed to be as obstructive as they were, but there they were. After a couple weeks, maybe less than that, Sledgehammer made some tweaks, made some adjustments to it, and they made it somewhat viable, I guess, but the original version of the weapon was bad and pointless. And I had to give it the number 1 spot today. If you used it, you will agree with me. You're shaking your head yes. If you didn't use it, just go look up videos and just watch the hit marker montages in front of you. It was a trash can. It really, really was, and it deserves the number 1 spot. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon.